Hello, good morning and welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing the power steering reservoir, and this needs doing because Mercedes have got a filter inside the power steering reservoir which obviously stops debris from getting into the power steering system and obviously damaging the steering rack or the power steering pump. Now the problem is when it gets clogged up, there is no way to replace this filter, so you have to replace the whole bottle, which I'm just going to say it is not smart, but at least they put a filter in there, so you got to take your wins. She sounds angry. She's like, anyway, let's go check this engine bay. Now for this job, you do need obviously the replacement power steering reservoir, and it makes sense to also drain the power steering fluid, because obviously if it's clogged up, it means there's dirt in the system, so it's a good time to change it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But let's carry on with this job now. We're going to have to take off this hose here. We're going to disconnect it from here, or just disconnect it from here, and then just move it to the side so it's out of the way. And then this is the, should I say, one-time use clip, which you can take off. I'm going to get a pick to pick it off just so I can undo it. That's the first thing I'm going to do actually, because if I can't do that, then I need to get a replacement, which I don't have. So let's start with that. Once that comes off, then this comes off, and then you have to undo this bolt here and this vacuum line which goes around the reservoir. There's a clip on the back here for it, which you want to make sure you take off, and then there's this which is attached to the reservoir, which you want to just take off as well. And there's a bottom that's not this is the return hose. That's the I guess entry line for the power steering fluid, which goes all the way down to the power steering pump. So yeah, you need to take that off, but obviously that's going to come later. So let's get cracking. So the first thing I'm going to do, like I said, is try and pick this somehow. I think this top bit just clips on somehow. Almost got myself there. Oh, I think I know what to do. You just need to flick it off. Like that. Oh, I kind of knocked the camera off there, but as you can see, the clamp is now loose, so let's proceed. Now that we got that annoying ear clamp off the car, let's extract this burnt, juicy power steering fluid from the reservoir, and then the next step would be to unbolt everything around it just to get access and take the reservoir out. Next thing is to remove this line. It's attached. I think you just flick it from the bottom and that releases it, and you can just take it out. That's not connected here, I mean down there, so that's fine. And now we're going to lift it up. Ooh. We have liftoff. Oh yeah, another thing to note, in your cars you probably have another clip here holding these. I broke this last time I was working on replacing the coolant air sensor. So you want to undo that before you actually lift it off. Okay, now that it's up, now we can work on taking these off. It's also the time to get all the rags you can to protect your belts and pulleys, or belt and pulleys, because you don't want to get any fluids on them, otherwise they go all squeaky. So I'm going to put a plastic bag, in fact I'm going to double it up before I put the rags under it. Alright, now let's take these off. Get some pliers on this clip. It's loose anyway, but I'm just need to move it back, or I didn't need pliers for that. Then for the bottom one here, there is a tool for it, which as is normal on this channel I don't have, so I'm going to use pliers. And then move it back. And now you should be able to take it off. But obviously before I do that, I need to make sure I'm not going to get anything anywhere. Alright, so that's come off and it's fine. I'm just going to place it on the side so it doesn't drip anywhere. And now the next one is the bottom. Now that that's removed, I'm just going to plug this up with the plug that came from the new one, just to make sure we don't have any excess or anything coming out. And then we're going to do the same for this once we take it out. And Lord have mercy, it's on there. Oh, you have movement. Okay, just angle it down, I mean the reservoir that is, just so, you know, it doesn't spill out. Oh, look at that, clean. Okay. So now we're just going to leave that hanging with these free ends. We're just going to put the new one straight on. Like so. I'm going to put the clamp on right now. All right. Now we need to remove some bits from the old one, like this clip and the bump stop. No, actually no, it's fine. The bump stop is on the car. Okay, that goes back on here facing down, and I believe that's everything I need from the old one. Goodbye, old one. Thank you for your service. And now we're going to plug this hole again, because we're going to do the drain now. So the idea is we're going to fill this up with power steering fluid, and it's going to go into the system via the bottom hose or pipe, and the return pipe, which we left on the side here, we're going to attach to a hose and then get the old fluid out, and then we're going to keep on doing this until we get clean fluid to come out.
I couldn't find a hose to bleed this properly. I would have loved to show you the gunky, funky old oil or fluid coming out of the system, but I couldn't find one, so I've just used this bottle from my brake bleeder kit, which was lying around and seemed like the perfect thing to use. So yeah, I'm just going through the system, going back into the car, turning the steering wheel from left to right just to help the pump all the bad fluid out, and just swapping it out into an old bucket I had on the side, and yeah, just rinse and repeat.
Okay, so now that we have green fluid coming out, that means the system is flushed and we can plug everything back in and start it up properly and let it cycle through. And obviously if we need to top it up, then we will. Now we're just going to put everything back in reverse. So right, that did not need to take as long as it did, but as you can see, it's done. So we're just gonna button everything up and take it for a drive and a wash, but not in this video. And that, my good people, is a wrap. Now, one of the other telltale signs that you probably might have is like a very heavy steering wheel. Now, I thought the reason why it was heavy on this car is because it's lowered and there's a big old lump in front. So I thought, yeah. But then again, power steering is meant to make that easier. So that should have been like a hint that there was, well, the fluids are kind of bad and gunky. So, but now just driving the car, I mean, normally it's always an exaggeration when people say, oh, it's like night and day. But I can genuinely feel it. Like just turning the steering wheel, it's like, yeah, so easy now. So that is definitely an improvement. So yeah, if you have any issues, like you have any weird noises from the pump, like you heard in this video, yeah, definitely give it a go. It's definitely a DIY job. One thing I will say is get the right tools for that crazy clamp. Now, it took me probably more than the entire time it took me to replace the actual reservoir just to put the clamp back on. That's because I didn't have the right tools. So get the right tools and you'll make your lives a lot easier than mine. I've done it so you don't have to do it that way. Anyway, till the next time, take care, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.